Have you ever really stopped to think about the humble grill cover?
Probably not often, right?
Yeah. That piece of fabric or vinyl just sitting out there in the backyard, it silently protects your outdoor grill from, well, everything. Rain, sun.
All the elements Mother Nature throws at it.
Exactly. For most of us, I think it's fair to say it's kind of an afterthought.
It is. And yet what's truly remarkable, I think, is that this quiet guardian, of our barbecue dreams,
Mm-hmm.
it isn't just some simple accessory.
Yeah.
It's actually a vibrant player in a surprisingly robust global market.
Yeah.
And looking at the data for something seemingly this niche like grill covers,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you incredible insights.
Insights into what specifically?
Well, into consumer behavior, for one.
Yeah.
Shifts in regional economies, too. And sort of how people worldwide are subtly, but, significantly investing in their outdoor living spaces.
Uh-huh.
It really makes you realize how much economic activity just hums along in these, hidden corners of the market. It's a bit like maybe the market for specialty dog food or even those high-end garden tools.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. So our mission for this deep dive is to really distill the most important insights from this comprehensive report we've been looking at. It's the Global Grill Covers Market Analysis and Forecast.
Mm-hmm.
And just to set the stage, let's try and grasp the sheer scale of this seemingly small market. Globally, get this. The grill covers market was valued at over $212 million back in 2021.
Wow. Okay, 212 million.
Yeah. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't some stagnant market. It's actually on a pretty significant upward trajectory.
Right.
It's projected to reach nearly $264 million by 2025 and then expand to, well, a massive $405 million by 2033.
Goodness, that's quite a jump.
It is. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of about 5.5% over that whole period.
Okay, 5.5%.
Which, to put that in perspective, means the market is consistently expanding by more than 5% each year. It demonstrates this steady, sustained demand.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is how this kind of granular data helps us understand those broader shifts. In global spending and lifestyle priorities,
Mm-hmm.
it just powerfully illustrates the significant economic activity that's happening within these very specific niches that, like you said, we often just overlook.
Yeah.
It genuinely makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other, everyday simple products might be quietly driving substantial money globally right now?
That is a perfect question to frame our exploration. So let's start by digging into the regional breakdowns.
Right.
Because the picture becomes even clearer when you see where this growth is concentrated and maybe why. North America, for instance, it was a dominant force, generated around $90 million in 2021.
90 million, yeah. Big share.
And it's projected to nearly double, to about 166 million by 2033, growing at just over a 5% CAGR.
And I assume within North America, the U.S. is leading that charge.
Absolutely. The United States accounted for roughly 73 million of that back in 2021, expected to hit over 130 million by 2033. But if you look closely, Canada's also showing solid growth. And what's particularly notable, I think, is Mexico. It has a really robust CAGR of about 6.7%.
Oh, interesting. Higher than the regional average.
Yeah. And that strong performance in Mexico, it kind of signals a significant growing investment in outdoor living spaces, home improvement there.
Which is likely driven by, an expanding middle class, maybe? Evolving consumer preferences for leisure at home?
That seems plausible. So how does Europe compare then to North America's strong showing? Let's shift across the Atlantic.
Okay. Europe's market stood at nearly $55 million in 2021.
55 million.
And it's forecasted to reach over 100 million by 2033. It's also nearly doubling, with a CAGR of about 5.1%.
Okay, slightly lower than North America overall, but still very solid growth. Lots of activity across different countries there, I imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, while Germany and the UK are significant contributors size-wise, what truly stands out in Europe, if you look at the growth rate, is the rest of Europe category.
Rest of Europe.
Yeah, that category is showing the fastest growth on the continent.
Yeah.
It's just under 7.9% CAGR.
Wow, almost 8%. What does that suggest?
Well, it suggests that maybe as more mature markets, like Germany, perhaps reach a kind of saturation point.
Right.
Growth is now accelerating in maybe more diverse, perhaps less saturated, smaller European economies. It points to this broader trend, of enhanced outdoor living spreading across the entire continent, not just concentrated in the biggest countries.
That makes sense. Now let's pivot to Asia Pacific, a region that, well, consistently shows incredible dynamism. The market there reached nearly $43 million in 2021.
Okay, 43 million.
And it's set to more than double to over 87 million by 2033, growing at a very healthy 6% CAGR. China, as you might expect, is a major player here.
Yes. China certainly leads the Asia-Pacific region. Its CAGR is strong, about 6.3%.
Right.
However, if we're looking for the highest growth within this region, Taiwan really shines. It has an impressive 7.6% CAGR.
Taiwan, interesting.
And India is also showing substantial growth, around 6.8% CAGR.
So what's the story there? What does that tell us?
Well, it tells a fascinating story, I think, about rising disposable incomes, definitely urbanization, and just a significant increase in outdoor living and leisure spending across different rapidly developing parts of Asia. As more people are able to invest in enhancing their homes.
Okay, moving south now, down to South America. The revenue there was just under 11 million in 2021.
Smaller base, yeah. 11 million.
Growing to nearly 20 million by 2033 with about a 5.2% CAGR. Brazil is certainly leading that charge.
Precisely. Brazil remains the largest market within South America. Its CAGR is about 5.4%. And Argentina also shows pretty solid growth, around 5.8%.
So similar trends maybe to what we saw in Mexico.
Seems like it. An emerging focus on outdoor living, home comfort, probably driven by similar economic shifts and evolving consumer priorities in those Latin American nations.
Got it. All right, the Middle East. That market generated just under $10 million in 2021.
Okay, 10 million.
And it's projected to almost double to over 19.5 million by 2033. It boasts a strong 6.1% CAGR overall.
Yes, and what's particularly insightful here, again, looking at the subregions, is the growth rate of the rest of the Middle East.
Oh, okay.
That part is especially robust. It's nearly 7.5% CAGR, alongside the UAE's impressive 6.7% CAGR.
So quite high growth rates there.
Very high. And this region, often associated with luxury, ambitious architectural projects, it seems to be increasingly investing in high-quality, durable outdoor leisure equipment.
Which makes sense, maybe driven by a desire for comfortable, well-appointed outdoor spaces, even in, well, challenging climates sometimes.
Exactly. That seems to fit.
And finally, let's talk about Africa. Now, this region, perhaps surprisingly for some listeners, it's actually showing the fastest growth globally.
It really is. It's striking. The market generated just under $5 million in 2021, a smaller base again.
Right, smallest starting point.
But it's projected to leap to over 11.5 million by 2033. And that's with an incredible 8.1% CAGR.
8.1%. That's the highest we've seen.
It is. Truly remarkable. And if we drill down a bit, countries like South Africa with an 8.9% CAGR.
Wow.
And Nigeria with an 8.7% CAGR.
Yeah.
They are truly driving this incredible expansion.
So what's behind that? Why such rapid growth there?
Well, I think it's not just about protecting grills anymore, right?
Yeah.
It demonstrates this rapid evolution in consumer spending and lifestyle preferences toward outdoor leisure in these emerging economies.
Okay.
It's a pretty clear signal, I think, of rising middle classes investing more in home comfort and maybe increased urbanization, leading to more defined outdoor spaces that people actually want to protect and enjoy.
Fascinating stuff. So as we kind of bring this deep dive to a close then, it's abundantly clear, isn't it? The global grill covers market is far from some trivial accessory. Far from it. I mean, we're talking about an industry that has grown from over $212 million in 2021 to a projected over $404 million by 2033. That is some serious, consistent growth for something designed simply to keep your grill safe and ready for the next cookout.
Absolutely. And what this analysis really highlights, I think, in a broader context, is how those varied regional growth rates, with Africa leading globally at over 8% CAGR.
Right, that leading rate.
And those strong individual performances from countries like South Africa, Nigeria, Taiwan, the rest of Middle East, Mexico, they're really clear indicators of evolving consumer priorities. And global trends in outdoor living.
Yeah.
It just reinforces this profound idea that, significant value in economic activity can often be found in those unexpected, highly specific corners of the market. It really reflects the changing ways people live and spend worldwide.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, maybe for you listening to think about. How many other everyday, often overlooked items, maybe in your home or just part of your daily life, might also be part of multi-million or maybe even multi-billion-dollar global industries that we just never consider?
It's a great question.
And what does the consistent, robust growth in this specific market for grill covers reveal about how consumers across different cultures, different economic landscapes, how they're increasingly prioritizing and spending on home comfort, leisure, and, well, protecting their investments.
And maybe to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over, consider how many other niche markets, driven by these evolving lifestyles, climate demands perhaps, regional economic shifts, how many might be experiencing similar quiet booms right now, just sort of waiting to be uncovered and understood?